We launched a new publication last week on Monday. It's called Student Living. And what Student Living is, it's all about accommodation, it's all about having a credible source of information for students. And I'm thinking about students coming from Ematatiela, Emlazi, whatever the case is. They come to the capital city. And what happens is that when they're here at the capital city, they can get information either online, and sometimes it's not credible. Then they fall victim to becoming scam prey. And so we decided to pull out a publication called Rekord Student Living. And it's a print publication, but it also has a Facebook page. Now the question I want to pose to you all is a general question. Do you feel that we have shot and we are going to miss the mark when it comes to students wanting to read something that's tangible? Do you feel that it will be consumed by students, having heard about what it's all about? Any opinion? Print, is it still alive when it comes to the student demographic in this day and age? What's your take?
Okay.
Caught you on the spot. Yeah. Go for it. You're such a natural. Come on.
Wandu. You can go.
Go for it. Yes, please.
I just wanted to ask, since you say your target audience is students from far away,
yeah.
So how are they going to see this? How are they going to get a hold of this student living?
Fantastic. Great
I just
question.
want to know that. Do you have like an online platform for it besides Facebook?
Okay, fantastic. All right. Right now, the target market are people that are actually in the capital city. So they would have traveled to come here. Around about February, they are running up and down trying to find accommodation because the first thing that's on their mind is registration and getting in or whatever the case is. But around about March, I feel that the students either want to change accommodation. It's either too expensive, it's inconveniencing to live that side of where campus is here. But they made an impulse decision in February when they arrived. So the distribution of Rekord Student Living is at the residential areas, especially around Hatfield, and also the shopping centers where they shop. So it's an active pickup, it's free. That's where they can get a hold of the copy. And what's your take on the actual concept? Do you feel that it will be consumed?
I think it will be consumed. I think it's a very strong, I like it.
Fantastic.
Because, for example, I'm from KZN, and when I had to come here, I had to go all over social media, which I did not know at that time, looking for a place. So I think this is going to be very productive, and people are going to like it. So,
question to you then, would you not automatically go online?
I would. I did actually. I did go online, and then I found a place, and when I got there, it was not what I saw online, so I had to look for an alternative place. So yeah.
So would you say, if you see it as part of Rekord and it's student living, do you think there's credibility behind the word Rekord?
Yeah, I think it is.
I'm asking leading questions. Does anybody else want to maybe challenge the actual concept in itself? What do you think about the idea?
I just want to ask, in terms of content, what content is it only? Do you cover everything?
Okay. The launch edition has articles about how to find accommodation. So we've got comments from Rebacks to say these are the tips on how to make sure you don't fall victim or become a victim of some kind of a scam. Another article in there is taxi signals, station, local, town. So all those things, I think if you're coming from Ematatiela, you come here, it's not the same signals. So the launch edition has got that type of content. Also, the legalities behind renting. You know, where do you stand? I know that most of the students would come from home, and now all of a sudden they've got the responsibility of making sure they look after someone else's property. You know, so that's the type of content that's in there. And then the second edition, it's all up to you guys, really, because we can't thumbs up what you want to read.
So I just want to know if you're working with any landlords, if you go to, say for example, places that actually give room for students to hire. Do you have any relationship with those kind of people, maybe reviews of those kind of places so that students can see that maybe I can go stay here? Do you have anything like that?
The launch edition doesn't. But understanding that as a media industry, it's all about content-driven commerce. So it's about great content people can read and about adverts that the clients would be able to get a return on investment. So in the launch edition, we have everybody that, you know, talking about Hatfield Square, not Hatfield Square, the Fields. So you've got all those, call it really expensive advertising from the people that can afford it. But it's a great concept. Maybe for the July edition, we should look at reviewing alternatives as well, as opposed to having those, call it luxury accommodation places.
Also, I'd just like to add a comment. Like, I think the student living should exploit the social media platform where there's a lot of youngsters who are on social media every day. We're talking almost every day is a young person joining social media platforms. And if you guys can make sure that we can see it, I mean, it's fine. I can go to shop and see student living. Okay, how's this? And just drop it. Be very naive. You just want to see and go. It catches my attention, then I just go. But if you can just go on social media and I see it, it says click, this is what you do, this is what you do, you're selling me a dream, and like I can see almost the concept of the print mag. I think I also can come in and advertise the whole idea, you know, and make it very nice and brand new over there. So social media, exploitation.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Great feedback.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure.
Great feedback. Any other comments? Contribution maybe?
Chris, I know you wanted student input, but I would love to give one or two ideas. I think the availability of a printed version is ideal. You know, for somebody coming here from KZN and this leaflet or brochure or magazine, what you want to call it, it's available and it's lying here and they pick it up. And then I want to link on with what Pule had said, if there are strong links then to social media websites. And then in terms of content, I also think, you know, aspects, you're talking about places within Pretoria, but I think of Soshanguve accommodation. Aspects to tell students about safety and theft and safeguarding themselves and the equipment. That's very important. And then another aspect to maybe take into consideration into next editions is the whole thing about NSFAS private housing, private accommodation. Because with fees must fall, that is a big issue. You know, students, we have approximately 16,000 students in Soshanguve on both campuses, with hostel accommodation for fewer than 5,000 of them. So the other students must find their own accommodation. You know, so even in Soshanguve, that will be a big help. And if you can get somebody to talk to NSFAS to find out about private NSFAS accommodation. But I do think there's a big need for that, definitely.
I really appreciate it. In the inception of the whole concept, obviously we sat around, brainstormed ideas, did a smaller focus group than this, and I thought I'd exploit the situation. But we do really feel that although the internet has got a lot of information, somehow it's not curated. So you're left to your own demise to actually make your own decision. But if you are with a publication like Rekord, where we can actually, you know, don't want to say script, but direct that thinking process, allowing you to focus more on the academia, which is what you're here for, and allow the actual living, every aspect of student living out of the picture. And I'm talking now also about retailers coming on board, talking about transport system, Arieng, is it Arieng this side? Yeah. Okay, and then also you know, things like you know, eating out, dining, nightlife. I mean, those are the things that we want to put into student living to encompass it in a print publication, which I think is tangible and I think it's credible as well. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Can I give one last idea? Otherwise we can meet for
Please
coffee.
Go for it.
I'm thinking of distribution models and the way that you distribute it, because if you talk about advertising, surely you would want credible distribution figures.
Yes.
But all the universities have got very structured first-year orientation programs, where the universities are actually searching for information to give to our students. So if you can link that, and I mean already here you've got a friend in our apartment, we orientate how many first years in 1 year? Thousands. And if we can make that part and hand that initial publication out during orientation for each and every student, you can go to your advertisers and say, we have a regulated target market in January of 20,000 students. So maybe that's an idea.
Thank you. We'll accept. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.